Hey guys, it's Brian here again, and today we're going to be working with the new 2025 Toyota Camry SE all-wheel drive. In this video, we're going to cover the exterior of the Camry. Then we'll talk about the hybrid powertrain that it's now standard with. We'll work our way inside, talk about the space and features. Then we'll take it for a quick drive, and I'll talk about how I like the way this thing drives compared to the last generation. With that said, let's begin. Starting with the outside of the new Camry, I like to start with the lights on most of my reviews. On this new Camry, we have a little bit of inspiration from the Prius, and LED lights are standard. And in the front of the car, we have what Toyota names a hammerhead style front end. There's definitely more sharp edges and lines here. Now, as we work our way to the side, you'll see there's some similarities to the previous generation, but one big change on the new Camry is the grille. So you'll see here on the grille, we have this hexagonal design, and depending on the trim you go with, certain Camrys, this grille in the front will actually match the paint of the car, which gives it a very unique effect. And we have some ground effects here on the SE. We have these almost like a lip wing on the bottom here, and what appears to be some functional vents on the sides for the first time on the Toyota Camry. Very nice to see. Working our way to the side, this new color for Toyota, Ocean Gem, looks really nice. It's kind of like a rehash of the Galactic Aqua to me, but a little bit lighter. 18-inch alloy wheels are standard on the Camry SE, and what's nice is, depending on the lighting, they really do fleck the light. They kind of have like that diamond cut effect to them. If you see on the top there, they kind of flick the light around when you're driving slowly. That's very nice. Stepping out, this is where we see some similarity to the outgoing generation. I would say from this area here where the fender ends all the way to the rear quarter panel, it's almost identical to the previous generation, but to me that's okay. The window lines look just about the same. The door handles are probably identical, but as we work our way to the rear end of the car, we'll see there's definitely some more changes. So here we are. We have the new Camry taillights. Some people call these crab claws. I call them staplers. It's not a taillight that's new to the car industry. To me, it does give it a little bit more of a mean, aggressive look. On hybrids, Toyota no longer has the blue symbol in the front or rear. We now have a more clean-cut hybrid electric vehicle symbol here, and if we get a little closer, that kind of looks like planet Earth with the atmosphere there and outer space on the top. So if it's a plug-in like a Prime, it'll say PHEV, but for your hybrids, it's not even going to say hybrid anymore. With that little kind of like symbol with the blue and silver, we now have hybrid electric vehicle with what I think they're doing here is planet Earth, which is really cool. Working our way up top, a lip spoiler here seems to be standard on the Camry. I'm still learning about the 25s, but I haven't seen any of the SEs without color matching. I think possibly black on the XSC. We're still learning about the way Toyota's building these and depending on the region. And for exhaust, single side dual exhaust on the SE. Let me give you a little peek underneath. And for kicks, let's go down here. I like to see a lot of plastic protection. In my opinion, that's not a hassle for maintenance, and it really helps with airflow, and it just helps keep the salt and grime off of the different parts underneath the car. Before we move on, here's a little more of a front end view as if the car is coming up to you. The nose is really what separates this car from the previous generation. The camera might not really do it justice, but we have a very strong presence here in the front that is chopped, and it just gives it a very macho gusto look to the front end of the car without being too try-hard like you see on some of the other brands that compete with us. So with that said, let's pop the hood, talk a little bit about the powertrain on the new Camry, and then we'll work our way inside. Under the hood of the 2025 Camry is the A25A FXS. It's a 2.5 liter four-cylinder. This is netting 232 horsepower, And the front-wheel drive versions will net a little bit less. However, this is the all-wheel drive, and the hybrid powertrain is going to be standard. We're working with the 5th generation of Toyota's hybrid powertrain. This all-wheel drive hybrid Camry will get you 46 miles per gallon down the board. So that means 46 highway, 46 city, and a blend of 46. However, if you opt for the front-wheel drive LE version, you can get up to 51 miles per gallon in your Camry. Nice to see on the underside of the hood, we have some noise protection here, which is great. The 825As pretty much all look the same. Things are easy to get to. For instance, at home, if you want to, you can do your air intake filter as the car ages, and checking your brake fluid is easy to do. You can see the coolant levels of your hybrid and your regular cooling system. And checking your oil is a cinch, which you can do right at the gas station. If you like to do oil changes at home, you can add the oil yourself. And this is just a simple dust cover that you can take off and clean the top whenever you want to. And besides netting 232 horsepower with this all-wheel drive, it's definitely a torquey ride, which we'll discuss during the drive. And what I like about the SEs and the XSEs is the sport tuned suspension, which attaches those wheels to the car, which gives you that firmer, more responsive ride. But let's wrap that up and close the hood. We'll pop the trunk and talk about cargo space, and then work our way inside the new 25 Camry. Once we pop the trunk here of the new Camry, we are greeted to 15.1 cubic feet of cargo space, which will definitely accommodate you if you have a couple suitcases, and if you like to load up on groceries, that won't be a problem. But say there's more. By pulling these little levers here, you unlock the seats, and that opens up a 60-40 split option to pass through longer items. Say you like to go skiing, snowboarding, or anything else where you have a lot of longer cargo. As somebody who's been with Toyota for a long time, people really do appreciate and love the Toyota all-weather protectors for the cargo area. And of course the hooks for your bungee net. Shout out down below if you use bungee nets to store your items. Do they get in the way, or do you like how they help prevent sliding around? Underneath, we have a little handle that we can lift. And we have the foam holdings for the tools, and underneath we still get a spare tire with the Toyota Camry Hybrid. Thumbs up from me. Now let's close up the trunk and work our way inside. But before we jump in the back, I just wanted to say, guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, please like the video down below and consider subscribing to the channel. It's a huge help, because if you subscribe to my channel by just simply clicking the subscribe button, it lets other Toyota people know that I'm here, and it lets YouTube know that I'm making content to help people out. So just by subscribing and liking, you're telling YouTube that you enjoyed the video, and you're getting me more out there to help more people. So I'd appreciate if you could just give me a like and a subscribe. All right, let's jump in the back seats. So moving on to the back here in the new Camry, we'll take a look at the window sticker real quick since it's here. This one has that weather package, which is a $500 option. To me, it is definitely worth it, especially for that heated steering wheel. And the convenience package, the other available package, which is $600. Not a must for me, but nice to see. Has the auto dimming rearview mirror with the smart key system. But I'm telling you, if you're spending 30 something grand, an extra 1,100 bucks, I would personally opt for both. Here's our MSRP and how it's made up. So what do you think of the seats, guys? We have these white ribbons. This is Toyota's Softex interior. Let me get you a little closer here. So I think this is definitely an upgrade. I just got to get you closer. All right, here we go. So getting close, we have this nice ribbed fabric here, which definitely feels really nice to touch. And we have a Softex, super soft white stripe. Almost has like a tuxedo look to it in a way. Some people might not like that black and white, but I think it's nice. With the white stitching here. Of course, Toyota seat belt's very easy to get to. When the kids are giving you a hard time, that buckle does not disappear anywhere like it does on some other cars. And the hooks are super easy to get to for the car seats, which is really nice to see. On the door card, we have a little bit of that silver to break up the black. A little bit of hard plastic here. Just regular Toyota Camry stuff with a bottle holder. I didn't expect a ton of storage in the back. Now the frame feels the same if you've been in a Camry since 2018. Under here we have the vent for the hybrid battery, which is underneath the back seats. If you're curious as to how that hybrid system works a little more in depth, check out down below in the description. I have a link to Crash Course Hybrids that breaks it down a little bit further. Okay. Got the rear vent on, getting me some AC. 2 USB plugs. And I like that they're still giving us the dust covers. I've seen some models and even some brands forego the dust covers. I like the dust covers because it keeps the dust and the moisture out. Pockets on both sides, definitely nice to see. And overall, nothing new as far as space. It's all the same as far as space goes. I don't feel claustrophobic. This is a very comfortable car to sit in. What really separates the Camry from the Corolla is it's very comfortable, and we have plenty more space. Now at 5'9" to 5'10", depending on how good the day is, and my seat set up for where I would be, I have probably about 7 inches right here. Maybe even 8. If my legs are a little closer, still the same. No claustrophobia here, nice big back windows. Let's move on to the passenger seat, which I often call the Copilot seat, and talk about what we think about the new dashboard on the 2025 Camry. Okay, so here's what it's like getting into the Copilot seat of a new 2025 Toyota Camry SE. Start with the door card. So this fabric material that I complimented on the rear seat is revisiting us in the front here, and we have that nice silver stripe that I love. And check out the way the door handle is just integrated. Definitely a nice design cue. Very streamlined here on the door cards. I think it's beautiful personally. A little bit softer than the last generation, so we got a little bit more of a spongy feeling here, which is comfortable for the elbow. Hard plastic here. I would have liked to see a courtesy light. I really like courtesy lights. I think courtesy lights should become more standard because you can see where you're stepping and it's going to reduce your fall. Or if you're tripping on a hole or a stick or something. All right, let's hop in. Now, classic to Camrys, there's no perfect spot for the door handle. So if the door is open all the way, you will have to lean and reach and pull it in. It is what it is. Sedan life. Check out that new utilitarian AC on the new generation. Boy, are these seats comfortable. I mean, look at them. They look comfortable and they are comfortable, which we're going to talk about a little bit more. This fabric that I like, and when I first saw the Camry during training, I was not a super big fan of. I actually like it now, which is interesting, and I'm open to changing my mind. You should be able to change your mind in life. I like how it comes here, and it works its way over and then down. I also appreciate that Toyota did not do fabric up top, which coming up here, this is a soft, very soft dash, even softer than the Corolla Hatchback XSE that I drive multiple times a week. Less soft here, really soft here. This fabric and soft material is gonna just help for the comfort of the car if you're leaning and touching, but more importantly, that not a lot of people realize, it helps with noise reduction. So that's gonna add to your comfort. I think people would benefit more from learning about noise reduction and how it really helps your experience in the car. Beautiful to see. I think people will be very happy with that small detail that adds a big effect. More of a retro style here on the dash up front, and it's going to be that piano black. And you know, lately people love to complain about piano black. I think piano black adds a really nice fluid finish that looks gorgeous, and it has that right shine to it. See how it just plays? I think it breaks up all the soft. It's good to me. And Toyota listened, and they took away the piano black down here, which they used to put on almost everything, and we have more of that flat finish here, which is a super dark gunmetal gray, and that flat gray is all around over here, which are really more of the touch points. And they also did away with what often is on Toyotas is the piano black near more touch points over here. So it's nice to see they kept the piano black. They took it away from the touch points and kept it in, and then revised these touch points to more flat so they don't show all the fingerprints and make your Camry look like it's full of chicken grease. Same tiny glove box in the Camry, which we started getting used to in 2018. But if you download your Toyota app, which you kind of have to now, you can take these and put them somewhere safe at home, because you can access this college course in your app, and then you can actually use the glove box that you get. Another small detail that maybe people didn't point out that I noticed right away, getting my hands involved, was that this material here, this is like a rubber floor mat for the cup holders in the storage area. So that's really nice because your stuff won't slide around as much, and it's not going to make as much noise when it moves around while you're driving. So say you're hitting the turns and your stuff kind of shifts, it's not going to scrape and make noise. I think this might be removable. I'm not going to try to because I don't want to mess anything up. Of course, cleaning is difficult in this area, but you should be fine with the proper chemicals and a microfiber. Definitely nice to see. Really cool. I like that they're going soft here. Really nice to see. But overall, as a passenger, the visibility is great, like always in a Camry. I like how the upholstery is black instead of gray. Kudos to Toyota. Crystal LED white map lights over here. Let's see if they kept it the same in the back or if they went yellow like they used to. We went yellow. So classic Toyota move. LEDs in the front, yellow in the back. It's a little less yellow. What are you gonna do? Let's move on to the driver's seat. The most fun seat in the car. Talk about what we think about all this, and then take this Camry out for a spin. And this is what it's like getting into a brand new 2025 Toyota Camry SE all-wheel drive. Real quick on the door card, same thing as the passenger side. A little bit more storage. Standard electronic seat, well deserved. Classic Camry mats with the same little leaf symbols. And we have the aluminum pedals, which is really nice and it looks really sporty on the Camry SE. Let's jump in and start it up. Look at this fat leather-wrapped steering wheel. Love me some leather-wrapped steering wheels. Shout out to my supporters that have been with me for a while. They know I love my leather steering wheels. I can't do the foam. I need that nice grip. Interesting here. It looks a little weird, but I'll probably get used to it. Of course, they went piano black, so that's going to be a grease magnet. But it is what it is. Let's check out the gauges. It's an easy reader display. Then we have our new software system, which I have a separate tutorial on that I have linked down below. Make sure you check out my separate tutorial for the new software system through Toyota. We can touch on it gently, but I want you to dive into that video because I want to keep this video a little bit more concise. But back to the speedo cluster. So being a hybrid, it's not going to have a tachometer. I can use the arrows in the steering wheel to go up and down in these little menus over here in the center screen, which we call the MID, so I can change some of the settings. This car has Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which now has proactive driving assist that slows you down during turns if you take them a little bit too fast. There it is right there. Lots of standard safety. You got your blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure alert, auto adjusting, cruise control. This car is loaded with safety, and what I love about Toyota is you can customize these features, turn them off, change the sensitivity. You can really make it work for you. One thing I'm not a fan of is that Toyota, and they did this on the Tacoma, and I think this is just going to be down the board now for the next generation, is these little notches here for the fuel and for the temperature. I personally like needles. I know we're going more with screens, If I couldn't have a needle, I would have preferred an exact digital measurement like you see on some of the upgraded Tacomas, on the Highlanders. I don't really like these. I know I'll get used to them. It just reminds me of like a cheap base model Mazda, but it is what it is. All the controls are on the front of the steering wheel, which is nice. Here's my arrows for the MID, my phone calls, my Siri activation or Google Assistant. Here's some of the controls for my sensitivity on the cruise, what kind of cruise control I want to use, my lane departure, all that stuff. We have a dedicated mode button now for changing between the cruise control types, because you still get the old school and you can do the new one. My drive modes, same exact buttons on the previous Camry. I love the brake holder in case your feet are tired or injured. Another nice thing is the classic shifter here. And I like this little plastic stripe that they do. It breaks it up nice. I like how it has those edges on it. It's got a little bit of a sparkle to it. I'm a guy of details. These little details really are nice. And with an overhand grip, down it goes, no guesswork. There's no little B, you know, like on the Prius used to have and on the Corollas. Just drive, park. And it feels so smooth. I'm a shifter guy. Toyota, please do not do turn dials. I know the big Rams are nice with the turn dials, and you know the Acuras are okay. You know, Honda's doing it, but tell me what you think. I mean, maybe I'm too old school. Would you like more of the buttons, or do you like a shifter feel to really just engage with the car more? You know, we're kind of going on a discussion now, but if you had the little buttons, you free up space. You know, you actually have to do this. And I will admit, you know, when I work my way into a Crown, the new Crown shifter and Grand Highlander Hybrid Max shifter, that's really cool and super comfortable, which is like a hybrid of this and a push button. But let's not get stuck on shifters. The wireless charger here is nice to see, and you can put your phone down ways, so you can just see if you get an alert, and then you can operate with it on the screen. We have our plugins. This is going to be wireless CarPlay and Android Auto now on the new software system, which is great. And I personally love this new HVAC system. So it's all little pads here. They're like little toggle switches. So I can turn off or circulate, turn it back on, turn off sync, turn it back on. No more up operation, only down, which is interesting. And I'm sure they have their reason for it. So it's just down, 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 down on all of them. The only ones that go up are going to be your temperature and your fan speed. And the heated steering wheel, instead of being a button on the dash like it used to be all the way over here, they put it over here. And now you have auto heated steering wheel mode, which will actually change the heat depending on what it thinks you need, or 2 different levels. So really cool. We no longer have that on-off heated steering wheel. We have low, high, and auto. So it's going to operate for you. So when I put on the auto HVAC system, which I personally love auto HVAC, it's going to adjust that for me. And with that weather package, I also get the heated seats, 3 different levels, really nice. I don't want to dive too deep, we'll save that for the tutorial. Let's look ahead real quick. We got the auto dimming rear view mirror, glasses case. I think this is probably the same construction as it's always been. Let's talk about the armrest. Plush, good. It's smidgen more soft than the previous gen. Wider, which is nice, so we're not fighting like we used to. And it still opens up top-wise. And we got one 12-volt. That's it. For the depth, I'd say it's halfway to the elbow. Decent. I wonder if Toyota is going to give you the option for a center console safe on these for people that want to store their jewelry and other items that they want to keep locked away from other people. But I think that's enough about the interior. Let's take this new Camry for a drive, and I'll tell you what I think after driving Camrys with Toyota for the last 7.5 years. All right, guys, I'm in sport mode now, which gives you a little bit more torque. And let's give it a full throttle. Nice. It's torquey. And I have that all-wheel drive to help me in the bad weather. Visibility, of course, is premium. I can see everywhere. And I like how the mirrors are on the doors so I can see through the corners. Of course, you could keep it in eco mode if you want to save a couple miles per gallon, but you only live once. Get it in sport mode. No more chrome emblem to shoot sun in your face. We went with that sandblasted look, which I'm learning to love. I will admit, it's not a scratch magnet like the old one. This is a quiet ride. Brakes really good with those regenerative brakes, which is part of how the car recharges itself. What I like is how it shows you your brakes on the bottom there. When you step on the brakes, you get those two little red lines. Apparently that tells you if one of your brake lights is out. Then you have the speed limit sign there. Yeah, this handle's really nice. Just going around that turn a little on the quick side. Great turning radius. I expected this from the Camry, and unfortunately the sedan world is cooling a little bit. I think this Camry can rekindle the flame for some of the sedan people. Really nice drive. When I give it a little bit of gas, it goes. It puts my head into the seat, which I really like. I can just drive this car so easily. Unlike the Tacoma and the Tundra, you know, driving a big truck and SUV is more of a to-do. You gotta kind of flex your abs during the turns. This, I'm chilling. This just does all the work for me. The suspension is handling it. There's barely any body roll. Let's get back to the store and wrap up the video, guys. So there we have it, guys. We took a look at the outside, inside, powertrain, and drove the 2025 Camry SE. I think they did great with this car, and as an honest, humble man, I will admit one thing. When they first introduced it and I saw the pictures, I poked a little bit of fun at it, and I said that it was a copy and paste of the last gen with some Prius headlights and Accord taillights, and I will say I'm completely wrong. Seeing it in person, I don't think that anymore, and especially after driving it, I'm very impressed, and I like it more than the outgoing generation. There is a soft spot for the V6 Camry in my heart, but I understand where Toyota's going, and I love the small details that they included. Now, the color matching grille in the front of the higher end trims will take a little bit of getting used to for me, but I've learned to love that hammerhead style front end, and I like that it's a better drive, and it's a quieter drive, and it's going to save me gas. And finally, we get the all-wheel drive with the hybrid. So before we go, guys, I'd like to give a great big special thank you to all of my supporters and subscribers, and I wanted to just say, if you watch this video, it makes such a big difference. If you like the video and you subscribe to the channel, if you could please just do that for me, it will help me get out there and help more people. You make the difference. Let me know what you thought down below, and check out the description for very important links that will benefit you. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.